Hello, and welcome back, everyone. We got the lion here from 247 Mongolia. Mm, mm. And we are going to execute a series of amazing moves to put the lion under pressure, let him know that we're here to play. We mean business. Okay, he's gone for the interesting F3 line. Actually, quite interesting. Quite a good line. One pro player who I'd played once against played a3 there before the bishop move, and I thought that was just fantastic. Um, this guy is playing quite well in the line, I think. It's a critical moment in the game. I think the key idea to remember with black in this kind of position is that you got to stay limber. You got to stay limber. Like even these deftly knight moves like this are worth playing in a position like this, because you're actually just waiting for that moment to sort of start turning things around. It's a waiting position. Black doesn't have those major um, pawn breaks, middle game pawn breaks that are necessary. So it's just the nature of the position here, the reality of it. And the casting comes with some element of risk, but even this side would be some element of risk. So what do we do? Um, hmm. We've got to play fast. It's also a speed game, and it's a very positional position. I guess kingside castling is a tad safer than queenside castling. And now we can try to play for this pawn break. Let's see what he does. Okay. He's been playing really well so far. It's definitely one of the more challenging lines from my perspective when white plays the way they played in this game. I think the f3 line leads to these kind of long, deep positional games which are not so easy. I like positional games, but they're also not so easy against strong positional players. Um, I'm going to try to amp up some pressure on this pawn, but he's getting out of the way correctly. Do we have a good follow-up? Good follow-up. What can we really do? Okay, let's potentially play for rook here. Let's also potentially play for knight here. See, middle game planning is all about creating the potential of some things happening, and we have to acknowledge he's blustered us strongly. So we're going to go for this kind of line where we might end up with a knight here. Right? You just got to see how the pieces are, where your pieces are, where you want to place your piece, and how to achieve that. Doesn't feel correct to move it just yet, though. Bishop here also on the cards. But what after queen take? Let's play it. Bishop here was one of the early ideas which he had evaded by playing queen g3, but now he's come back under the spin, so this motif has re-emerged and we can see how to use it. Should the queen now actually take a new target, so creating pressure on multiple sides of the board? Not quite. It actually gave him the escape he needed. Shit. Shit. Not good, not good. But okay, fine. And we just gotta accept that. That's the reality of the position. You can re-propose this idea that he would capture and bring your knight into the game and all of that. If he takes with his queen, I could also consider taking with the rook so that I can leave room for the knight. He's taking that weak square. Maybe you take it. And maybe we defend it in a weird way like this with the rook. Now, okay, now is a critical moment. I guess we have to take it, otherwise the queen would take here and the game would really start falling apart. This pawn has to be held on to, so we're just holding on to it, but he's got some forward momentum with these pawns. They look scary, but the king should be in time. Okay, so we've managed our time a little bit suboptimally, obviously, because of the time equation that we see here, but nonetheless. Okay, very good. This bishop move critical, because this was the nasty check that he was planning here, and now we've taken away a key moment of counterplay for him and emerged with the knight check, followed up with the pawn push to create quite a high pressure situation for him. Now it's going to be interesting. Does he decide to play g3? I think it's possibly a very good move. Makes the king a little bit harder to get activated. But he's also looking to press forward here. I think we should take. We've got to play fast. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, we've not managed our time so well, but yeah, he came in aggressive. Okay, let's push this guy around. Let's see, does he decide to move his knight back here? In which case we know this pawn doesn't have potential there, but we can try to get this. Okay, he is playing the safe game there with that pawn. So let's take here and do we hold on to it? Holding on to this pawn and holding on to this pawn, not quite actually. He can take it, but is this safe? Is it safe? His rook comes back in time, unfortunately, so I think he's winning this game here. I don't think I have a crazy killer move. His rook should come right out there and finish it off. Ooh, he needed to finish it off. He let us off the hook here, allowed us to jump in. And we're coming in with a queen, and it's gonna get nasty. It's gonna get vicious. We've got to play fast, so it's a time pressure game now. It's totally just a blitz out game. So it's all about the speed and the you know, confidence. Speed and confidence and keeping it simple. Oh, important not to fall for that mega blunder, what would have been a mega blunder. Just deliver good checks. Checks always keep you safe. He can still fight a little bit with this position. He's got tough material from that point of view, I think. And it is just a game of seconds still. So, not easy. You gotta play a bit fast as well so that he doesn't. Let's exploit this pin. This is the pin. This is exactly the pin. Oh, he got out of it. He's close to blundering here. And so am I. I blundered. No, I didn't blunder. Nearly blundered. Shit. I'm really getting low on the clock. Gotta throw in some checks. Whew. Resilient player. Tough position. He's keeping it simple. Okay. We have to do something different, otherwise there's a real risk of 3-move repetition. Um, let's see. How far down the line can he get without doing it? Shit. Well played to this guy. Well played. The final hurdle is so close. Anything can still happen, you know. He's gone for the final hurdle. I think it hasn't quite gone right. It hasn't quite gone right for him. It was a real valiant fight, and at one point in time, it really looked like it was all over. But uh, he held his nerve, and now we're just gonna make sure we don't have any chance of any bloody stalemate. So, right. Whew, you guys are making me sweat, man. These guys are making me sweat. Okay, let's have a review. I wonder about that end game. So the score at the end of this game, marathon game, was a pretty tight one, 78 to 80. and it was very nervy towards the end. He had some chances to make it a drawing game, but finally pulled through. Finally pulled through after the uh, yeah, a long wrestling match there. So okay, let's go through it. It's already 15 minutes. It's a long video. This is a long one. So yeah, this is suboptimal, and he got tempo on my knight, so that whole idea totally backfired. And now we're playing this passive position, but it's not easy for him to make the breakthroughs either. So it's still pretty much in the balance, and we're playing for the pawn break, and all of this is going quite well. And here he allows us this maneuver, which he shouldn't have been allowing. So it gives us a very nice outpost, and we're able to use that. Although it would have been more accurate to go knight here already. So that was also instructive. And here we should have definitely captured there while we had a chance. But anyway, I don't know why we aren't capturing there. Uh, yes, this didn't go perfectly ultimately. He managed to get out of that and keep the pressure on us. But I blundered. Tactical blunder here. Like I should have just captured here, right? I should have just captured here, because if he takes, he'd take with the knight, and the knight's holding on to that rook. So very interesting tactic. I thought it looked a bit fishy, but I didn't probe it deeper. My bad. I thought this looked like a good move at the time. It turns out it isn't. Better would have been knight check and pawn push. So basically to ride the storm, but that's a tougher way to play. It was a bit scary. But as you can see, it's nothing to be scared about ultimately, maybe. I think this kept the game a little bit more in the balance, and it's very edgy. And here it was all a question: how's he going to use this pawn mass and momentum? Is he going to go for it? And he does go for it, but it's the wrong pawn push. The wrong pawn push, and this is going to be instructive. Why is this the better one to make? Because the knight is able to mop up, and the pawn is able to retain his comfortably protected status, rather than it ending up in a position where the pawn's lingering off in the middle of nowhere. And what happened in the game, however, was this pawn push, which also gave basically the vulnerable overextended pawn. That's what this is. And it's difficult to hold on to it, right? You need to be Caruana or someone to hold on to these kind of points. But this is not Caruana, and here now obviously that pawn's falling, so we take it. Now big game was all about this. How is this going to happen? What's going to happen here? And we blundered. We blundered because we didn't take the open file. We played passively. Always remember, don't play passive. Give away those fucking pawns, man. Just come after him. Come after him. You could come for a rook checkmate from back here. You know, it's the king is also in danger. But then we went for it. Here we thought that fuck, let's go for it, and it was the wrong move. Rook, he just takes it with check naturally, and rook comes back. So it's over. It's over. Nothing but a miracle. He would have to take a miracle to win from here, but that's exactly what happens because he took it too easy. You can't take it easy, man. You've got to just go in there and finish the job. He took it too easy. He wanted to have another pawn and another pawn. He thinks he's got it. He missed the basic tactic. The only tactic that I had. And I guess this is a hard lesson for him. Would be a hard lesson, but it's still a drawn position. But then he blunders. He blunders because it's difficult to handle those pieces, and then it feels like now it should be an easy win, but it wasn't. I found it hard to finish him off here, And here there's mate in 10, allegedly. And it should have come with queen check. Just simply queen check and win the knight. Yeah, there. Okay. I'm, I'm sure there are many blunders in this game here at this point. Like, that in principle, I'll just say it was difficult to win here. Difficult. And I thought now I had him, I finally had him. But there again, I missed a queen check, which would have just finished it off, right? Shit. Missing the basic ideas. And then there was also the risk of, running into threefold repetition somehow. So we had to move the king at some point just so that we changed its position dramatically enough. But yeah, it's not like some. Oh, even here, I could have just simply won the pawn. What am I doing? Just played so badly there, and now it became a draw. Right here, draw because he could push, but then he over pushed. He got a bit greedy. Got a bit greedy here. He needed to just hold it solid, man. Now you finally got some progress in your position. Just gotta hold it steady. But he over pushed, and we came in just in the right time there. Queen f7, strong move, and king all the way back here. Ultimately a blunder, big time blunder. Because what? Knight there. Knight there being so powerful. Maybe that's why. Because threatening check and queen. And that is what he played. But we managed to give him enough checks that he blundered. And then we didn't get our king out of the firing line again. But then his king came from the wrong side here. And now he's trying to do the same thing, but it ain't working. The motifs aren't working. So it didn't work. And then we took it very easy at the end to just not mess it up there. But all in all, what a game.